It makes up 70% of Earth, but only 3% is fresh. 16% of people do not have enough. While some claim it is a human right, others claim it for money. Do you know what it is? What about this one? People in America buy more than 500 million per week. That's enough to circle the world 5 times. And it costs 2,000 times more to buy it than it would be free. If you guess water and bottled water, then you are correct. But why we buy this at such an alarming rate is not so cut and dry. In the early years, mineral water and spring water were the 2 most common types of bottled water. Mineral water was believed to have special healing powers, while spring water was believed to have mystical powers, since it came from the ground without any human intervention. Let's take a closer look at both. Mineral water is water from a mineral spring that contains salts and sulfur mixtures and is usually broken down into 3 categories: spas, baths, and wells. A spa is where people would go to drink and bathe in the water. In 1767, Jackson Spa out of Boston began bottling their mineral spring water that was believed to have healing powers and other health benefits. A bath is where you would go to swim or to bathe, and a well was strictly for drinking. The Food and Drug Administration classifies mineral water as any water containing at least 250 parts per million total dissolved solids deriving from a geographically or physically protected underground water source without any human intervention, meaning no minerals can be added to this water. Nowadays, we commonly refer to mineral water as carbonated water, sparkling water, or soda water. Spring water is water that flows naturally to the surface of the earth, hence the term spring. Spring water must be collected at the site. One of the most famous springs are the Saratoga Springs out of New York. This springs was nicknamed the Queen of the Spas. In 1820, the Saratoga Springs began bottling their water. This springs was one of the springs that the wealthiest people would dip in. Nowadays, you can go upstate New York and dip in some luxury spas like they did in the 1800s. But these spas, you would be able to soothe and relax and ease your body. These spas are most similarly referred to as hot tubs. Now, let's look at municipal water or tap water. This water is usually the one that comes to your house, and is also regulated by the Environmental Protection Agency under the Safe Drinking Water Act. It is filtered and tested for pollutants and bacteria, and chlorine and fluoride are usually added to combat other health concerns. Let's take a closer look at these agencies. The Federal Drug Administration, the Food and Drug Administration, the FDA, and the Environmental Protection Agency, the EPA, are 2 agencies that govern water sources. The FDA regulates bottled water through the Federal Drug and Cosmetic Act, while the EPA regulates public water systems through the Safe Drinking Water Act. But which one is safer? According to a report commissioned by Switzerland-based World Wildlife Fund International, bottled water may be no safer or healthier than tap water, because there are more standards regulating tap water than there is bottled water. So why is bottled water so popular? The International Bottled Association conducted a survey that found 56% of bottled water users cited taste and 55% of bottled water users cited convenience as the reason why they drunk bottled water. Now that we have discussed the different types of water and the agencies governing them, let's take a look at the most profitable bottled water companies. Dasani, owned by the Coca-Cola Company, made $1.6 billion in 2008, and it is primarily derived from public water sources. Aquafina, owned by Pepsi Company, is also derived from municipal water sources, and it made $1.5 billion that same year. The next time you reach for a bottle of water, read the label, and you may see the words purified or drinking water. This lets you know that this water is made primarily from the same water tap water is. Now, don't get me wrong, these companies send this water through significant purification processes. Dasani even adds minerals to their water, while the purification of Aquafina takes most of the natural minerals out. In conclusion, we have distinguished between some differences of spring, mineral, and municipal waters. We have also discussed the agencies that govern these waters. And we have found that most people drink bottled water for convenience and taste, and not so much for health concerns. Now I would like you to focus on these two water bottles. One of these water bottles contains tap water, and the other one is our Aquafina bottle. I placed both of these bottles into the refrigerator. And now I'm going to see if I can taste the difference between the tap water and the Aquafina. Both of the waters primarily taste the same because I refrigerated the tap water overnight. And by doing so, I have dissipated some of that chlorine taste that you would get. So, what I would like you to do is try this at home at your leisure, and you see if you can tell the difference. If not, then we know that tap water is cheaper and it's healthier because of the fluoride that's added to tap water. So, now that we've done, thank you, and